Hi there, it's Hélène again with another video. Welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome. This is the empties for my round 3 of Slaying My Samples series. I'm really excited. I have used a ton of the product just like I did last month. And when I released the video for round 3 was July 31st. Right now as I'm filming it, it's just 2 days before the end of August, and I'm really pleased with how far I have come with these samples. I am able to do quite a bit of damage in the box, and I will show you that product and I will show you that progress, I should say, when that box is shown again in round 4 of using up my samples. So hang in there, we will get into it, and I will try to get through them quite quickly. So if you want to see what I've used up, stick around. Okay, so before I get into it, I just want to say if you like that kind of video, or this kind of video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content on this channel in general, please consider subscribing. I would love it if you would consider that. All right, let's take a look at what I've got. I've got them all lined up next to me here, and it goes basically in the way that I would use them in the order of the day. So I'm going to go with some cleansers and exfoliators. I've got some creams, I've got some primers, and also a few perfumes and shampoos as well. I managed to use a product that I never would have purchased, so it was kind of neat to get a chance to try it. And this was the water-activated Tsubaki oil-infused exfoliating powder from Boscia. I think Boscia is the way that we're supposed to say that brand, but anyway, that's what I am saying. So there's a couple there. And also from Boscia, I have managed to use 4 of the detoxifying black cleanser. I've mentioned this before, these samples last more than one use, at least for me. And so even though you're seeing one packet, in some cases it was 4 or 5 days. Like that powder lasted a ton of time. And I'm not going to just use product to use product. I want to use it as I would if it were just in a jar or a container or something. And so I am surprised at how long this stuff lasts. The next one from Boscia again is the Makeup Breakup Cool Cleansing Oil. And I have to say, I really like this one. So worthwhile to know, because it might be something that I would want to purchase, or maybe that you would want to take a look at. I enjoyed it. It was soothing, but did the job as well, really well, for taking the makeup off. And that's something I really hate struggling with, and I hate tugging at my eye when I'm trying to get makeup off. So when there's a cleanser, when an oil-based product that does it just so smoothly and effortlessly, I do pay attention. The next one is a Glam Glow Galactic Lens Melting Jelly Balm Cleanser. I won't lie, it looked pretty cool, but it's a cleanser. It's just a cleanser. I used it as a cleanser, it worked just fine, and I'm moving on. The next one from Philosophy is the Micro Delivery Exfoliating Facial Wash. This one didn't last all that long, and I didn't feel... Yeah, no, I did feel some exfoliation. Just maybe it wasn't as gritty as I was expecting, but it's fine. Yes, it did the job. A ton of cream samples. I'm going to go with the single eye cream that I had. This is the Algenist Eye Balm, and that lasted me quite a number of days because eye cream tends to last me quite a bit of time. I have the Darfin. This one is the Anti-Age and Radiance Cream. I don't have the logo on top anymore. It's like dolphin, but it's Darfin. I liked it. I don't know where to put the samples. I don't want to, keep going to the camera. So maybe I'll just keep it up close. The next one I have is Skin Iceland, and this was the Icelandic Relief Eye Cream. I lied. I have another eye cream. So I really like Skin, or Skin Iceland, and I am probably going to look at purchasing this thing. It's pretty good. It looks expensive though. Shiseido Ibuki Beauty Sleeping Mask. Shiseido's pretty expensive. I enjoyed using it. I won't be buying it. I've got a couple of the Boscia hydrating gels. These were quite nice. Usually a gel is not moisturizing enough for me, but these actually worked okay. Next couple of creams are from IT Cosmetics, and this is Confidence in a Cream. So I have 2 of these packages. And I liked it, it's a basic cream, it worked fine. But it didn't leave all that much of an impression, so it's just not something, it's not a product I would take much note of. Okay, so I have a couple of products from the Lancôme Énergie de Vie. This is a melt-in sleeping mask. I liked it, felt good, but it didn't leave a super impression. It was just, I liked it. And this next one, again from Lancôme, is Énergie de Vie. Again, that's the line. And this one is the Smoothing and Plumping Water-Infused Cream. This one I remember, I did use all of them, but I didn't find it as hydrating as I would like, and I ended up using it with an oil along with it. So yeah, I just ended up supplementing. So not something obviously I would repurchase. I find the water-based creams just don't necessarily do it for me. Once in a while, one of them will do it, like the Biossance seem to be okay, but they don't always work. And now finally, from Lancôme again, is the Visionnaire Nuit, and it is the Beauty Sleep Perfector. This is an advanced multi-correcting gel in oil. And this one worked fine, so it's kind of like a bluish container, whereas the other Énergie de Vie are like greenish containers. I don't think I would search this product out. I think it was interesting, but yeah, it was just interesting. But I think it takes a fair amount of good product to want me to get me to want to displace a tried and true that I really like. Although I have to say, I'm trying right now the Rodile bee venom. That's the only thing that bugs me, is the bee venom thing, because of the poor bees. Yeah, I think about it every time I use it, and so I don't know if I'm going to repurchase that stuff. I guess I should update my skincare routine and show everybody what I'm doing now, because it's been a while. So I'll put that in my mental list of videos to film. Now I have some primers, but this one is a primer moisturizer, so I'll do it right now. And this is the Fab First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I think Kelly Gooch is one who's pretty big on this one, and I have to agree, I really like it. I don't have a problem with it. I think it does a really good job, and I may look into actually buying this. So yeah, it's a good product. Now for some other primers, this one is also, it's from Juice Beauty, and it is an illuminating primer. And I got a few uses out of this, so it worked fine. I like it around the periphery of my face, and then I use more of a matte primer in the T-zone, because that's where I get oily. So it worked fine, but there are some other ones I prefer. Like if you go to my Empties for this month, you'll see I have a pretty big sample, so that's why I put in my regular Empties of the Becca Backlight Primer. I really liked it, and it lasted me for a very long time, and that is one I would consider repurchasing. Another illuminating primer, though, that I just finished is the Lancer Danny Glowing Skin Perfector. Now, one thing I did with this, these 4 samples, and I have been doing it. If I have multiple samples of something, I have been pushing all the product out of these sample packets and putting them in a jar, so that I could use just however much I would use if I owned an actual container of the product, whether it's a squeezy tube or a jar. So of course these I'm putting in a jar, but I think you get my point. I'm using them as I would just normally use the product, so I can get a sense of how much I use and what it looks like in the way I apply product, as opposed to continuously guessing, like, did they give me 1 use? Did they give me a couple, 3 uses? And am I going to run out? Whereas when I can get a visual view of how much product is left, I use it, I think, more naturally than when they come in these packages. So if you get multiples of a given sample, I highly recommend to just dump them all in a container that you've emptied and cleaned, and just see how you use the product just on your own. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. We're almost done. So this was all the face products. And I have a few of the shampoo things to go through, shampoo packets. This one was, all of these actually were single use. I just ended up needing the whole package, which shocked me a little bit, but I do wash my hair fewer times a week now. And so I think that because of that, I do use more product to cleanse and also to condition. So this Phytoparis, and this is for dry hair. It is the Phytohoba with jojoba oil, 40% corn flour, and mallow extract. So there we go. That's what it looks like. Very flashy packaging. I hope I didn't blind you. It was fine, left no impression. The next one is the Briogeo Rosarco Repair Shampoo and Conditioner. Again, these were, can you see it? These were a single use package. And same thing with this Strivectin hair. Now, you may remember that this is the product that I have been using. I've been using the hair mask from Strivectin. So here are a couple of samples of those. And so I used these in conjunction with the mask. So I did the shampoo, I did the conditioner, but the conditioner more so for my hair, and then I used the mask on my hair, but mostly concerned with getting it on the scalp because it has that cooling sensation. And if I really do a good job of putting it on the scalp, it stays cooling for days, and it's supposed to help with hair loss and hair repair. So that is what I have used. And then finally, one last really beat up product. It lasted me for just a ton. It lasts me so long. This is the Ulta Beauty 3-in-1 shower gel, bubble bath, and shampoo, although I only used it as a shower gel in the bath. And this is called Super Juice. It is the orange, grapefruit, and papaya. And let me tell you, 30 ml lasted a long time. I was shocked how long it lasted. I really liked the smell. I enjoyed it. But then again, I love the Ole Henriksen Truth series that smell like oranges. So obviously that should not be a surprise. And what a great segue, because we're going to talk about scents next. So here are 3 perfume samples. I'm going to start with the one that's not finished yet. And this is the Ralph Lauren, this is Woman, and I happen to have another one that I will have, and I don't know if you can see in the bottom of the bottle, but there's just a little bit left, so there's just a couple of days in the month, and I will have just enough to finish the month. And the other ones I've been using this month are the Mon Jasmin Noir by Bulgari, and it's funny, it looks like there's some left in the bottom, but the way that the pump works, I'm going to actually have to take this apart to get that little bit out. But there's only about 1, maybe 2 uses left in there. And then the Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's this little blue bottle. And I did tear apart and tried to get on my wrist and do some of this kind of stuff. I was okay with all of them. If I were to say which one's my favorite, it would be the Ralph Lauren Woman. In order of preference, it would be that one, then it would be the Bulgari, but that one was pretty strong, and then third would be the Acqua di Parma. They were all fine. I mean, I kept using them. If I didn't like them, I would have thrown them away, but they're fine, and but then again, I'm not a huge perfume connoisseur, so I'm probably not the one to get suggestions from, and that's probably why I'm so open to just using samples and changing the samples constantly. One that I have been using recently that I find is super powerful, so I only use it on occasion, it's going to take me a while to get through, is the Tom Ford, I think it's Neroli? Anyway, you'll see it in an upcoming Empties, I guess maybe next month, or it could take me a couple of months because I only use it once in a while. But yeah, it is pungent. It is a very, very strong perfume, and so that one is, I'm more reluctant to use it because I don't want to have too much perfume. Sometimes it's not appropriate depending on what we're doing. So anyway, okay, this has been too long. There are my empties for round 3, and let me just show you the Empties jar, like the jar of, pardon me, the jar of samples that I have left from this round. There's not that much. So I keep all the samples in this glass jar on the counter so it's always visible to me and just kind of prompts me to use samples that maybe if they were out of sight I wouldn't think of. But this is all that I have left out of those dozens of samples that I picked out. So I just have exfoliating cleansing powder and a lot of primers. Like most of these, yeah, all of these are primers. And what I'm finding is that getting through a sample of primers takes a long time. It just does. So I'm going to be using, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages of primers. They're probably going to last me another 2 weeks. So you'll see these primers definitely in next month's Empties for the Slaying My Samples stash. But yeah, I am shocked at how long the primers were lasting. Like I mentioned it for the Lancer Danny Glowing Perfecting Primer, and holy cow, does this stuff take a long time to use. I mean, it's good if you're hoping to get as much use as you can out of samples that you get, but wow, when you're trying to make a dent in it, you can kind of say sometimes, how can this sample last so long, right? They're definitely, for the most part, not single use for a lot of the different kinds of samples that I've been using. So anyway, it is what it is. So I hope you enjoyed this round of Empties for round 3 of the Slaying My Samples stash. I thank you for your time, for lasting this far into the video. So if you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And hopefully for round 4 of product selections for the Slaying My Stash series. My Samples Stash series. I'll see you in the next video. But for now, take care.